Real Country 1430 AM and 107.3 FM WRDN. Brian Winnekins from the Commodity Classic in San Antonio. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report. And joining us this morning, Steve Trzebiatowski, and he is with the Wisconsin Soybean Association. He's also on the ASA Board of Directors. And thank you to the Wisconsin Soybean Association, along with Wisconsin Corn Growers Association, Amplify Health of Mondovi, and the O'Galley Grain Company. And so we're going to talk a little bit with Steve about some of the things he's been doing. But first, Steve, let's talk a little bit about the home farm.
Yeah, I'm in Amherst Junction, Wisconsin, central Wisconsin, and we raise soybeans, corn, alfalfas, and small grains there. It's a 600-acre farm that we primarily do the work ourselves, and it's growing those crops and putting those in the industry.
Now, you're in Amherst, so you're right in the Central Sands region?
Yeah, I am. A big vegetable area, but also a lot of irrigation in that area, and very helpful in the dry years. But we also do a lot of cover crop things that helps on our dryland crops and raising those cover crops to have green crops growing most of the year.
Us in western Wisconsin, we have that sand as well in Pepin County and in Dunn County and Buffalo County. Not as much as you do, but it can be, I think, for some of the growers a little bit frustrating on our part of the state, because in some fields it's every other row, sand heavy, sand heavy. That's at least how it seems. Now, are all of your fields primarily more sandy, or do you have some heavier soiled fields by you?
Yeah, we have a combination of everything. We have sandy, and it can be in the same field. We can have sand, and we can have heavier clays. So you got to farm it according to where they are and how the knolls are and everything else. But that's the one nice thing about the cover crops is when we establish those, they kind of give it the soil. We keep that in place, and we help prevent the wind erosion, water erosion, and other things like that.
Talking with Steve Trzebiatowski. He's with the Wisconsin Soybean Association, and he's also now a member of the American Soybean Association Board of Directors. So, Steve, why did you decide to go onto the ASA board?
Well, one, we had a long-time member, Don Lutz, retiring from that board and terming off, and that position was available. So I stepped in along with Tanner Johnson being the other ASA rep, and it's been a great experience. We met in St. Louis in December, got a lot of orientation on that, what to expect, what to go through, and then from there we hit the ground running and started working on resolutions and giving a voice for the American farmers.
And so, what committees are you on with the ASA board?
On that, I'm on the audit committee and also the biofuels and infrastructure. But we're all working on a lot of different things, whether it's precision ag or conservation or everything else.
So let's talk about some of the resolutions. You did have your meeting today, and so had some resolutions that you were talking about. Let's talk at least about first with the renewable fuels. I'm betting it's the sustainable aviation fuel, something that is kind of a big topic.
Yeah, that's really big, and we're hoping that we can get a piece of that pie with our soybean oils and have the aviation fuel be a front runner in that market because it could do wonders for the soybean farmers. It's huge, it's big, but there's other things. I mean, we've established more products in the last 10 years than we did, prior to that are really benefiting soybean farmers, and it's created a great market in our area and throughout the United States.
Not only is it benefiting soybean farmers, I would believe it benefits consumers too. Even on the biofuel side, I know that the soy biodiesel is really big out east for home heating oil, but that saves consumers a lot of money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and it's cleaner burning. It's a nicer fuel that we don't have the emissions like we do with other products, and that's always a great thing. And it's not just in the United States; other countries want these products too. And if we can get in the aviation part of it, it's globally.
Meanwhile, you're on the infrastructure committee. You know as well as anyone in Wisconsin, rural roads with all of the new equipment and things like that, they just need to be updated to the 21st century. And while we have some programs in Wisconsin, it is an important issue really nationwide.
Yeah, what a time of year to talk about it because we all know about potholes this time of the year in Wisconsin. But yeah, we obviously need to upgrade those roads and get good infrastructure in there. And it's not just roads; it's rail, it's everything that we're involved in, whether it's river barges and things like that. Those are all important items too. But yeah, we need to start with our road system and work from there and make sure those are upgraded. So.
Talking with Steve Trzebiatowski's with the Wisconsin Soybean Association. Also, he's now on the ASA Board of Directors. Steve, one of the things with the sister organization, the opposite end of the organization, the Wisconsin Soybean Marketing Board, they worked with the federal government. They worked with the Soy Transportation Coalition to get the Milwaukee Harbor upgraded, and they worked with some folks to get that happen. And I understand that in March, at the end of March, there's going to be a big presentation. But on that infrastructure, how important was that to get that port upgraded for Wisconsin?
Well, that gives us great opportunities to get our soybeans out of Wisconsin to great markets, and it's close, it's local, and what a great way to support Wisconsin and Wisconsin in general when it comes to our businesses, and it's just huge.
And I know that there's been upgrades to the port over in Duluth Superior over the years. Is on that terms of infrastructure, at least with the ports in Wisconsin, would you like to see potentially some upgrades along the Fox River Valley? Because that's even Green Bay's port's even closer for you.
Yeah, it is. And I hope that eventually we will work through all of those and get those ports open that we can handle the products that we're talking. And it's not just products coming in, it's products going out. And that's what makes these systems work. And the longer you can use these ports, it does help and it helps businesses.
Finally, before we let you go, Steve, you ready for spring?
Uh, yeah, well, 2 weeks ago we were at 50 degrees.
You weren't that first guy out there, were you?
Oh no, no, but we didn't have a lot of snow left, but it's Wisconsin. Give it 24 hours and we'll be back. And that's what we're at now. We have time. At this time, don't get too excited. Be patient. The key word is patience.
Because I'm going to be the guy. I would be the first guy out there. And I'd just have the planter behind me with nothing in it, just to see how many other guys are going to follow me.
I'm sure there's people that do that, but there's one thing they always say, and we're big no-tillers in central Wisconsin because of our soils. They always say, when you think it's ready, go fishing for a week and come back.
Now, I like that idea. I like that idea better than my idea. That's Steve Trzebiatowski. He's with the American Soybean Association, Wisconsin Soybean Association as well. We're at Commodity Classic. This is the WRDN Morning Farm Report.